Exactly.
Armando, no.
Exactly. What they gonna do? Face a queen like me?
Armando, you can fall. No. Armando. Oh my God.
Well,
Armando.
they can never face a queen like me. They can never face a queen like me.
Oh, Armando!
Welcome, everybody, to the Come Hang Out podcast. I'm your host, Josh Presuto, and I have a lot to talk about today, but not a lot of time. So let's get into it. People of America, this man has done it, all right? I was on the waterfront, Pier A, doing a little geese investigation because they got them geese be gone lights now. And while I was out there checking to see if the geese really do be gone, they were not gone. They were still there. They were still vibing. Whoever made those strobe lights, that geese be gone guarantee, it is a rippity dip rip off, all right? Unless they placed them wrong, but I would assume they were professionally placed. But the geese are not gone. They are still thriving in the city of Hoboken, a lovely little city of Hoboken, just making their way on Pier A. The geese are here to stay. We're not getting rid of them. Keep dumping money into it because that will eventually solve the problem, just like everything else in the world. But when I was on the water, I ran into a guy who biked all the way to Hoboken, New York, kind of his final destination, not the movie. From California, he biked across the whole country, didn't speak much English. I knew he was a traveler because he was on a bike with 4 bags, a bag on each wheel. That is what we call in the industry a biking traveler. And I was like, "Yo, dude, you're a bike traveler. You're bike backpacking." And so I just met this guy on the dock of Hoboken. What did you just complete?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Oui.
And you just biked here from
Los Angeles here, 2 months, 7 days.
2 months, 7 days. And why are you
Age 72.
You're 72? Why did you do this? I tried to get some answers out of this guy, all right? He didn't have a lot to say, and you know what? I don't blame him. Biking from one side of the continent to another leaves you a lot of time with your thoughts, all right? A lot of time with your thoughts. So I want to say congratulations to this man, but he kept on asking me to take a picture of him on his iPhone 5C or SE. It was like a rough and tumble iPhone, bro. The screen brightness was non-existent. I don't know if anybody had a Game Boy back in the day, but trying playing that guy in the dark was kind of the same situation I was in with the iPhone, except instead of it, being too dark, it wasn't too bright because I was outside and the sun was brighter than the screen. But he wanted me to take his picture with his iPhone, right? SE7, and every time, I'll give you an example of what this homie was doing with my iPhone 17 Pro. I think it's 17, might be 16. The new one's coming out any day now. Buy the stock. He would lick it he would lick the camera, and then be, bro, and it was the most disgusting thing. It was vile, all right? Because that phone screen did not look good. All right? That phone screen did not look clean. Nothing about that phone screamed cleanliness to me. So it was disgusting, but I did it anyway, and then I shot my hand with some Purell, a sap, and that's all I have to say about that. So congratulations to this guy who biked across America. You are a true patriot, and can't wait to see where you bike to next. Moderna may have just cured cancer, but Hoboken still can't cure the bike epidemic, all right? As a biker myself, I feel like we get no respect in this city. We are hit. People hate us. They spit in our direction. Listen, pedestrians and bikers, we need to be working in harmony, all right? We can't have this like hatred towards each other, all right? Our energy needs to be focused on ending the car overlordship, the car monopoly that is on our country. Bro, you can't go anywhere in America unless you have a car. So why are we getting mad at people on bikes? I understand if they're, DoorDashers or Postmates, because those guys are out of control. But you're getting mad at me, who's just going for a bike ride, trying to get a little kiss of the sun. It's not very fun. So there's multiple protected bike lanes, but there's a main protected bike lane in Hoboken right now that's causing a ton of controversy. People who live on the protected bike lane street, it's a pilot program. You know what? I'm not going to explain it to you. We just need to have Emily take it away. So let's have Emily explain the bike lane situation to all of us.
We need to talk about the Grand Street Protected Bike Lane. Since it was installed at the end of 2025, we've heard a lot of feedback about what's working, what isn't working, and what people want to see happen next. A lot of residents came out to the most recent council meeting, and I want to tell you, thank you so much for coming out and sharing your feedback. We hear you, we see you, and your concerns are valid.
But
the Grand Street redesign wasn't just about installing the first protected bike lane into the interior of Hoboken. The city also installed curb extensions, high visibility crosswalks, ADA accessible curb ramps, and delineated parking spaces at the request of the city council. It would be a disservice to this community to end this pilot early and not have an opportunity to look at the data and figure out which additional alternatives we could test out. Like removing the delineated parking spaces or doing a different version of a protected bike lane.
We'll get back to those parking
spaces. Reverting Grand Street to the old configuration would cost tens of thousands of dollars and cause several weeks of disruption.
Don't do it, Emily.
Because funding for road restriping was reduced to nearly zero in the adopted 2026 budget, the city would need to identify additional funding to cover the work.
We're out of
money.
money.
The good thing
Don't
about
do
a
it,
pilot
Emily.
program,
Don't do it.
it's
We're out
something
of
we get
money.
to learn from. We try something, we collect data, and we gather feedback from community members. Then we figure out what is and is not working, and we adjust and improve. Hoboken residents, we need you to continue to stay engaged. In the coming weeks,
we're not
we will be
listening to you
asking
on this
residents
one.
and business owners for direct feedback on the Grand Street redesign. Everyone will have a chance
Please
to give us their
continue to
input
give us
in
your
several
feedback,
different
but
ways. My
we're not gonna
administration
listen to
is
you on
committed
this
to
one.
listening to residents, looking at the data,
We're gonna
and
listen to you
exploring
on
all
other
the
things.
possible options before we make a permanent decision. If you want to reach out right now, don't hesitate to send us an email at grandstreetpilot@hobokenNJ.gov.
And email them saying we need more pickleball courts. Say, hey, this bike lane was a cute concept, but like we need more pickleball courts is what everybody should be sending that, using that email for. But thank you, Emily, our fearless mayor. We love her. Emily Jabor, we love her. She's doing a great job. And honestly, listen, the bike lane is causing controversy. I do, see the points of the people who live on that street are just like, it's no good. I don't own a bike, so this is inconvenient for me. But let's take a couple steps back because the video was a lot to unpack, and I don't want to do it any disjustice. So there's no more money to pave the roads, all right? So she's like, there's zip, zada, zoop. No, we're not paying we're not painting any more roads this year. The money's not there. We got 5 months left, 6 months left, 4 months left of the year. We're not going to be painting any. They're going to get destroyed by the snow. Let's just wait till 2027 to paint any roads. Let's give it a beat, okay? Fair, valid. Okay, so let's keep the protected bike lane that barely anybody uses. I'm not saying people don't use it. I use it occasionally, but not really. Just keep it for a little longer, all right? Collect the data till the end of 2026. And then evaluate in March or May when all the snow is gone, okay? April, May, snow goes away. Okay, so that's one thing. So, okay, it's not on the budget, then let's not strain the budget. We don't want to be Jersey City. We're basically already there. The next thing is everybody, they voted no. They were like, this cute pilot program, but no, we're going to veto it. It's one of those things people came, they voiced their concerns. I mean, you can look on Reddit. Everybody, this pilot program, this protected bike lane, it's getting a lot of bad publicity, all right? People do not like it. So I'm not sure what the resolution here is. Because here's another problem that Hoboken has is the build, destroy, rebuild. Build, destroy, rebuild. This is what Hoboken loves to do. And I think they need to like stop like building, destroying, and then rebuilding for the sake of building, destroying, rebuilding. We saw it with the white sticks to like get us not to park. And again, like she brought it up, she like the white sticks don't work, so they extended the curb. Is the extending the curb a test? Is eventually some dude with a jackhammer gonna get that and be like, oh, the curb extension pilot program is over. Get the jackhammers, and then our streets are inconvenienced for like a week and a half because they gotta like bring the sidewalks back to where they originally were. Again, we should just have things in this city. It's not a big city that work and don't need to constantly be redone. I mean, look at the bus station by the path, bro. They have redone the bus station by the path 16 times since I've lived here, and I've only been here for 4.5, a little bit more than 4.5 years. And I can tell you that every single year that area by the path looks different. There were gazebos, now there's not gazebos. The little homeless shelters, as a lot of people refer to them, because that's where they slept. Now there's no street. Now there's the whole new area that you can't park. They like took away like 30 parking spots, and now it's just brick. And it's like a great place if you want to like park your bike and get stolen. Like apparently a lot of people's bikes are getting stolen over there. And honestly, I wouldn't park my bike anywhere in this city because nobody cares about bike theft. I mean, again, like everybody hates bikes. So I would not park my bike in the new bike parking area because I've only heard horror stories about the bikes being stolen. Unless there's a cop patrolling that area 24/7, caller ID, friend detected, to making sure that nobody's bike can getting taked, then I would park my bike there. But as of right now, I wouldn't park my bike anywhere in Hoboken or Jersey City for an extended period of time because bike theft is high, especially in the winter. So the last thing I have to say about this pilot program is the one time I only ever hit somebody on my bike was in a protected bike lane because there were two high schoolers up to no good standing between two cars, and then one just ran out right in front of me in the protected bike lane, bro. So it isn't really very protected. I don't know the solution to this. If anything, I think those cars parked next to the protected bike lane shouldn't get free forever parking. That is crazy. I want to park my car next to the protected bike lane and never have to move it. That would be sick. A free, never need to move spot on the Hoboken street is honestly a plus. It's a plus. To end the bike lane story, let's get the data and reassess in spring 2027. I don't think we should spend the time, money, and effort on redoing that road. It's kind of already done. Let the song be sung. And speaking about songs, let's talk about the Frank Off. So the Sinatra Sing-Off Festival happened last week, and I'm a little bit behind on the news. Sorry, I've been busy, and there's a lot to talk about this week in Hoboken. So I'm trying to make this as cohesive as possible. But the Frank Sinatra Sing-Off was last weekend, and I got to be honest, guys, it was like last week on a Wednesday, and there's not enough Frank at the Frank Off. All right, at the Frank Sinatra Sing-Off, there is not nearly enough Frank. It's like a 2.5-hour event, bro. It is the length of the Odyssey or coming really close. And I feel like it does not need to be that long. And I feel like we need to cut a lot of fat off the event, all right? There's a lot of yip-yapping between the singing. I feel like there needs to be a little less chirping and a little bit more burping. Well, and burping, aka singing, like belching, like what singers do, okay? Because if Frank would sing a song and then somebody would talk for like 12 uninterrupted minutes about nonsense. Like, I couldn't even remember what they were talking about because it wasn't important. Like, they should be like a little bit of me and a whole lot of you. Frank. All right, everybody, give it up for that Frank. All right, next Frank. Come on in. There's a little bit of sugar and honey too. All right, everybody, give it up for that Frank from New Zealand. All right, give it to this Frank. Mix it all together, baby. That's what we do. All right, everybody, that was a great Frank. All right, and now our final kid Frank, the child Frank. And that's the recipe for making love. Because it's Kid Frank, bro. I do not. This is the secret of this. Another secret of Hoboken. They somehow genetically mutated a child to where he never ages. And he is Kid Frank every year. He's been being Kid Frank for the past 10 years, and he's still 12 years old. It's like a Simpsons paradox. And that's the recipe for making. Woo! And that is what the Frank sing-off should be. Like, that was like a good representation of what the Frank singing off competition should be, but instead it's a wop a loom bop a wop bam. And now we're going to talk about the Hoboken History Museum for 10 minutes.
Much later.
This Frank Sinatra sing off is from M&T Bank, Valley National Bank, and Blue Horizons Bank. Make sure you check out
346 minutes later.
And that is what the Frank off is in Hoboken. So basically, all I have to say is it doesn't need to be that long. Let's shorten the Frank off to like an hour and 30 minutes. And I feel like everybody would be really, really on board for that, because we'll get to see like talent. Because like I left early because I was like, bro, like we're an hour and 20 minutes in and there's only been 3 Franks. Like, this is insane. Anyway, Hoboken, that's all I got for today. Have a great weekend if this is coming out on Friday.
Happy, high-tech, automatic, exponentially ecstatic, speeding forward, future hopping, always dreaming, never stopping.